Oh my gosh guys, it has been 2 months since I've last posted on YouTube. Like what the hell? But that is because I've been more focused on TikTok. There's not as much admin as there is when it comes to YouTube. But today I was just like, I've got a client later on, I'm going out for dinner later, so why not film for you guys my updated makeup routine? Because there's a few new things I've included. There's some new products I like to use now. It's just a little bit different to what I normally do, so let's get into it. So I've been using this Got To Be Glue. This is the Got To Be Glued Ultra Hold Indestructible Styling Gel. The reason why I got this one is because Chemist Warehouse actually ran out of the yellow tube, which is what I normally wear. However, this is actually okay. It's not that bad. I probably wouldn't recommend it if you want to do laminated eyebrows, because as you can see, they're not as like flat, they're not as sleek, but I mean it does a good job at holding your eyebrows in place all day. If you are somebody who prefers like a more fluffed up natural looking brow, then maybe give this a go. It's only about 10-12 New Zealand dollars roughly, and plus you get like a whole tube, so it's gonna last. So I'm gonna start with my base first. This is something that I have been doing a lot recently because this is my everyday makeup routine. I don't really do that much for the eyes, but of course I am using my Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. However, I got the next shade up, so if you don't remember, I used to use the shade Light 5, but now I got Medium 1, just because I felt like the Light 5 was a bit too pale for me. You could kind of see it in my videos, and even in real life I would always notice that it's a little bit lighter. Like I could definitely get away with the Light 5, but I just feel like it adds a bit more like a healthy looking base to my skin, not like a washed out pale looks like I'm sick look. This blends really nice into my neck as well. I don't really do much in terms of primer. Like the only thing I'm still using is the Sephora All Day Hydrator. This is a moisturizer and primer in one, but I love this. But yeah, I just put this all over, like even on my eyelids. I like to blend it out with my Beauty Blender just because I feel like this gives a more flawless look. And I always recommend this to my clients who are wanting something natural, something lightweight on the skin, but they still want like a bit of glow. I always recommend this product because it's literally suitable for anyone. The coverage isn't the best though. Like I feel like they definitely could have added a little bit more like deeper skin tone shade. I do like to build it up where I have like breakouts and stuff, because I am breaking out long hair. If you like to mix your foundations, would highly recommend getting this and mixing it into like your more full coverage foundations. I've showed you guys on my YouTube before, but mixing these two foundations together, it's a dream. It looks flawless, it looks stunning. It really dilutes the faux filter and makes it not as thick as it normally would be. I have also tried mixing these two together as well, and again it gives like a really nice flawless finish. So they still do this foundation, but it's in a tube rather than this big butty cube. I have been really loving the Rare Beauty liquid blushes lately. I've got 2 of the shades, so I use Joy. This is literally my go-to, the one that I grab the most, and I also use the shade Hope. Now, this one you only need like a tiny bit. A little goes a long way because it's very pigmented, whereas Hope, I do like it because it's a little bit more subtle. You can actually add a lot more than you would compared to Joy. It's really good for just like natural everyday, just a little bit of something on the cheeks if you don't want it to look too intense. However, I love Joy. I love how this looks. I love how intense it looks, and just popping that at the top, and you only need 1 dot, and you're about to see why. So I'm just going in with an angle brush, but just look at that pigment, like just with that tiny dot. I love orange blushes. Like I feel like orange blushes, people are a little bit scared to use them. Like they see it and they're like, I don't know, but it actually looks gorgeous as well. Like in summertime, it really fits the summery season. Even though it looks very harsh and unblended like on the top part here, once you add your concealer and do all that kind of stuff, it gently like smooths and evens it out. It's a bit of a trust the process step when it comes to this blush. The excess, I just like to even put a little bit onto my forehead. There's this TikToker that I follow, and he is insane with makeup. Like he does like that flawless celebrity glam, and it just looks gorgeous. And this is actually a tip that I learned from one of his videos. I think his name's Kevin, I can't remember. He basically just said like put blush everywhere, because at the end of the day it's like a natural flush. You don't just flush on your cheeks. When you go red, you kind of go everywhere. So just adding like little hints of it, like on the forehead, on the nose, even on like the jawline. Guys, so I've got a new concealer that I've been using. It is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Concealer. This is perfect if you have dry skin, if you're a little bit older and have mature skin. A little goes a long way because it is quite thick, but the coverage on this is insane. Compared to the Powflex, which is the more hydrating one, it's not as full coverage as this, I would say, but I do like this one because I feel like it doesn't crease as much as the Powflex. I probably would still buy the Powflex again because it is $10 cheaper than any other Shape Tape one. You kind of get like the same use out of it, so I don't know. What I like to do now is with the concealer is just let it dry. If you let it dry, you are more likely to get like the most coverage out of it as possible. I'm just taking a fluffy eyeshadow blending brush, and I'm just going to now pat the concealer just in the area where I've placed it. To be honest, I kind of like pick and choose like how I want to do like my techniques for the day. Like If I have time, I will be doing like with the brush like I'm doing now. However, if I don't have time, that's when I'll just go straight in with a beauty blender and just blend it out that way. But see how you've added your concealer now, it kind of just buffs out that blush so it doesn't look as intense. And I still go back in with my beauty blender just to make sure it's all nice and even, there's no streaks, all that kind of stuff. I guess you could say that my updated routine is almost like clean girl makeup. I don't know, but it's just like that simple but effective look. I feel like my base is looking really flawless today. I think it's because I'm using a different sunscreen. I'm using the Imogen Max sunscreen. It's SPF 30, but it's the face sunscreen. It's in like a pink tube. That's what I'm using because my ultraviolet lately, it's been making my base look really crumbly, so I try to just use that on my days off rather than if I have to go out and I need to do my makeup because it just doesn't look good. I never used to do that. It's only been like with the last 2 tubes, so I don't know if they've like added something new to the formula or if it's just like the batch, but it's just not as good as it used to be. I then just go back in with my blush brush and I do just like to touch the cheeks up a little bit just because sometimes the concealer kind of drags down a bit and it loses the blush color. So now I'm going to set my face and nothing's changed with the powder. I still use my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose powder. As you can see, I'm almost finished, and I did buy me another one because it always sells out, so I do have a backup, but I'm just gonna like try and use this up as much as I possibly can so I'm not wasting any product. This is something new as well. I only bought this week. It is the Beauty Blender Powder Puff. This is really nice. It's fluffy on one side, but then on the other side, it's kind of like a sponge, like almost like a beauty blender in a way. It's very squishy, very cushiony, but you can actually use both sides. And I didn't realize this until someone commented on my recent TikTok, like, this is how you use the other side, because I was using this, I was like, I don't even know if you can actually use this side or not, but pretty much you just pull the tag onto the other side. So yeah, common sense. But I am going to try this side today because I think because it is a little bit more cushiony, it's probably going to give a more full coverage appearance. So I'm just going to make sure that my under eyes are blended before I pop on my powder. I'm just going to dip this into my powder, tap off the excess, and then just like gently tap. Oh, you can definitely see the difference like in terms of full coverage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this side just for the nose area just so it doesn't peel any of the makeup off. So this is a little bit of a side to side moment. You can definitely see I'm nice and glowy on this side. Some days I don't mind looking like this, but because I need this to last, we want it to be a bit more mattified. Definitely has that nice flawless filter finish, which is what we love. It's actually like really blurring as well. I really like this. Just going in with that fluffy side just to make sure there's no powder that's like lingering anywhere. Making sure it's all smoothly blended. I've also been loving like the sleek bun look just because it really like ties everything together. It's very simple but effective, just like this makeup look. You're probably going to hear me say that so many times, but it generally is simple but effective. Now I'm going to add some bronzer, so I always just stick with my trusty, the Glowish bronzer by Huda Beauty. Still using the shade medium, and I still haven't even hit pan yet. I've still got so much product left, even though I'm using like heaps of this, because I have to like really deepen it up, I find. As you have noticed, I haven't done any cream contouring or bronzing. That is just because when I'm like in a rush on my way to work, I don't have time to keep using cream products, especially when it comes to bronzer. I feel like with the bronzer, I tend to take my time blending it out. But if I'm going out, someone's birthday party or like an event, I will then definitely use cream bronzer because it definitely makes a difference. It's more, it makes your makeup and your features look a lot more defined. I'm really happy with how my makeup's turning out, and I honestly think it's because of that sunscreen. So taking a big fluffy brush and just swirling that into your bronzer. What I like to do is like just popping it all over the eyelid. It doesn't have to be perfect or placed anywhere in particular. I like to just gently wing it out as well, just so it kind of like lifts everything up. I think it's time to like get me some new eyeshadow brushes because the hairs of these are starting to fall onto my face when I do my makeup, even though I like wash them and everything, but I've had them for like 5 years. I definitely will still keep these because I love these brushes. I think out of all the Morphe sets that I've seen, besides Makeup by Ariel's, at the time the Jeffree Star ones were definitely like the best. No one does like these fluffy blending brushes. I think these are like the best when it comes to blending out eyeshadows or just like buffing out edges. And the fact that they did like smaller sizes like this, I find it hard to find something very similar to this. They're either too stiff or they just don't blend as well. They're a bit flimsy. So yeah, hopefully Jeffree Star comes out with some brushes one day because that would be, I'm sold. I love this product. Now I'm gonna go in with my Sephora Flirt It Up brush, and look at this, guys. I still haven't even hit pan, and I've had this for so long now. I don't even know how long I've had it for, but I've had this for a while and I still haven't hit pan. These are really good, especially if you're like a beginner to blush, because you can really just build up the intensity of color that you're wanting. They're just so easy to use. I like to just do soft tapping motions when I'm using this blush. Sephora has actually changed the packaging, and I think they might have improved the formula slightly. It's meant to be a little bit more pigmented than it is now. I really want to get like an orangey shade, especially if I'm wearing Rare Beauty blush Joy. I think it'll complement quite nicely. Just adding some excess onto the nose, forehead. Perfect, stunning. And if I do think I've like made it a bit too harsh, that's when I just go back in with my powder puff and just buff out those edges slightly. This is the Rare Beauty powder highlighter. These launched a few months ago now. I've got the shade Mesmerize. It is just like this beautiful champagne-y pink shade. These are so nice. They're pretty affordable too. Like, I think it's definitely worth the price. They just blend like a dream. They're so buttery. Every time I'm at work and my clients want to try it, I always say to them, you can actually use this as a bucket body glitter if you wanted to, because just look at how buttery and smooth they blend. Also very blinding as well, which I personally quite like. I love an intense highlighter. I really want to get the shade Exhilarate though. It's the lighter gold shade, because there's Flaunt, which is a little bit deeper, but Exhilarate is the lighter gold shade, and it just looks so stunning. It's always bloody sold out, but I really want to get that for when I do like my bronzy looks, my more golden neutral sort of looks. This is stunning. Like, I do like this, but it definitely has like that slight like hint of pink in there, and I think like with a bronzy look you want like a gold highlighter in my opinion. The only thing I will say is that they are very fragile. I did drop mine like a few weeks ago now, and as you can see, she's chipped. Now I go with my By Mario Master Matte palette. This is definitely like a really nice palette. Like, I love how it's all neutrals. The only thing I will say is that they're not very pigmented. To keep like building up the shades to get the shade that you're wanting and like the depth that you're wanting. I don't know, Mario, maybe you could make them a little bit more pigmented. I've only had this for a few months and I've already like hit pan on these two. I'm about to hit pan on some of the deeper shades here. Like, compared to like my Jeffree Star and like other palettes, I've had those for years and I've only like just hit pan on them like last year or the year before. So this is like where I add my signature stunt to the look. This is where it kind of like ties everything together. I just take my angled brush from the end of my brow brush and I go in with the dark brown. So this is matte 11, I believe, and what I do is I just add like a really faint wing, and it doesn't matter if it looks uneven or a little bit weird at first, because we tidy it up, and only stopping like halfway with your eye, and you want to kind of keep it as thin as possible. You don't want it to be too thick. However, if you love a thick wing, go hard. That is my wings. This is just the placement that I like to do. They do look a little bit wonky right now, so this is when we tidy it up. I just go with my flat eyeshadow brush that I literally use like cut creases and stuff, so there's a lot of excess concealer on here, but what I do is I just like kind of rub underneath, and this will just sharpen up that wing. The same with the other side. And just see how like something so little, something super easy to do, like anyone can literally do this, it just like really changes the look. I don't know, it just gives that like simple but effective look. Before I do my eyelashes, my mascara, I will be setting my face. And guys, oh, I love this. This is the Huda Beauty Extra Hold Pristine Boss Face Setting Spray. This is so good. It does have a strong smell, so if you're a little bit sensitive, would maybe not recommend, but it literally makes your makeup stay in place all day. Lasts for like 8 hours, 12 hours more. Really good for a night out. I use this in my kit as well because I love to use it for like weddings and stuff to make sure that the makeup will definitely stay in place. It's just, I just love it. So now I'm going to set my face quickly. I would recommend just keeping your eyes closed for a little bit before opening them, just because it can sting the eye. Well, not sting, but it can like it kind of gets in your eyes and your eyes go a little bit sore, but like it's nothing bad. It is a matte finish, so if you are a matte girl, I would definitely recommend. Nothing's changed. I still use the Sephora Size Up, but I did try the Milk Rise Mascara. I actually got given this as gratis from work like a year or two ago, and I just tried it for the first time like a week or two. It's not personally what I like. If you are somebody who loves a natural looking lash and loves a curl, this is definitely for you. But me personally, I love volume, I love thickness, I love length and curl. I love everything as long as it doesn't look too natural and short and stubby. So this is my go-to. Sephora Size Up, I'm gonna add some of this on, popping it on my top lashes. One coat and you can already see the difference. It's so good. I also think as well, like when it comes to mascara, there's not really much difference in them. Like once I find a good one that I like, I tend to stick with it. That is one coat. I am going to add just a little bit extra more on the outer ends of my eyes, just so it adds like that cat eye effect. So I just like to pop a little bit more extra onto the ends. My everyday go-to liner is the Max Pout pencil. You can tell I love this because look at how short it is. The lid is literally going to cover this entire thing very shortly. Classy Pout pencil, Max, it's so good. I love this lip liner just because it's so natural. It does definitely like add a little bit of definition to the lip area. I use it in my kit as well, like not this one, but I have a separate one for my kit. It's just the perfect nude in my opinion. Like it goes with literally anybody, especially if they're just wanting like a natural look. Because what you can do with your lip liners, guys, it doesn't have to just be for adding a bit of definition. You can literally just buff out the edges and use that as like your everyday lip color if you like. Got something a little bit more exciting. These are, if you haven't seen my Instagram or my recent TikToks, then you won't know. But these are the Rare Beauty lip oils. I bought 3 shades. For some reason I keep calling it Diversity, but it's actually Delight. We have Honesty and we also have Serenity. I did do a little quick review on my TikTok, but I'm just gonna do one here anyway. So these are a really nice product. They're pretty affordable as well. I think they're only $38 from the top of my head. The weirdest thing is they all look very similar when you actually apply it onto the lip, because when I swatch them on my hand, you can tell the difference between the shades. They're lip oils, so what they do is they kind of add a little bit more hydration. They do have like a sheer tint to it, which adds like a color. They also add a bit of a gloss. The gloss only lasts for about, let's say like 2 hours, roughly there, if you're not like eating or drinking, and then they gently mattify. When they mattify, they don't last that long. When I swatched them on my hand when we got them into stock first, they've stayed in place that whole entire day on my shift. They're not a bad product. I do really like these. I just think they're really good to add into your routine, just for something quick and easy, nothing too intense, just like a little pop of color to the lips. I am gonna go with the shade Honesty. This is more of a brown color. So I'm tapping it on my lips. It's super hydrating. They feel very cooling. They feel very light. It's like nothing's there. I do love to pair any of these shades with the lip liner because I like to add like a full definition look to my lip. If you put these on straight on, they don't really like, they almost just look like a tinted balm. This is the completed makeup look, guys. As I said so many times in this video, it's simple, it's effective. I just think by adding like a soft brown wing liner, that can be with a liquid liner or your eyeshadow, it just makes a huge difference to the entire look. If you aren't already doing that, try it out and let me know what you guys think, because I feel like it really ties the look. It creates a more lifted look. It just kind of polishes everything up. Obviously there's a few things I've added new into my routine, lip oils being like the main one, because this is actually the first time I've ever bought a lip oil. A lot of people do love the Dior ones. I haven't tried those yet, but I heard nothing but great things about them, and even Fenty's one. I'm kind of glad that I got my hands on these because they're affordable, they do the job, and they look really nice. I feel like these are a good addition to add into your everyday makeup routine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've used any of these products, if you've tried any of these steps, I would love to know your guys' thoughts. Apologies, it's another delayed video. If you guys haven't already, I'll pop the link down to my TikTok below, but make sure you go and follow me on there because I am almost posting every single day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in my next YouTube video. Bye!